properties that have multiple offers, right? It's sometimes hard, it's usually hard actually, to know what the right price is. You're never going to know what the right price is unless you get an accepted offer. So what can you actually do to make it better? Um, no mortgage contingency is one, if your buyer has the ability to do this. So what that means is if the buyer has the cash to buy all cash, but they want to try for a mortgage, beautiful. They can put a no mortgage contingency in there. They can still try to get the mortgage, but if they aren't able to, they still have to buy the house. So that can make your offer, quote unquote, better than someone else's, right? Another one is no appraisal contingency. What does that mean? Again, if your buyer has the ability, right? Let's say they have large down payment, large savings, and they can put the extra money in. They don't need to get as much of a higher loan than someone with a lower down payment. So if the appraisal comes in short, they're not going to kill the deal. They're going to say, okay, we're still going to buy it at this price, no matter what the appraisal comes in at. And if I have to take a lower mortgage and put more down payment, so be it. That's what a no appraisal contingency means. The other one is waiving an inspection. So again, these are on those multiple offer properties. So if, let's say that you can say that, hey, my buyer's willing to waive the inspection and sign the contract quickly. Because what happens is you're going to get that offer, you're going to have to set up the inspection report takes like 2-3 days to come back. This is all time consuming. So on a multiple offer property, what's going to set you apart is little things like this. So it doesn't mean that your buyer can't ever do an inspection. They can also do that inspection for informational purposes, meaning that, hey, we're still going to buy the house at X amount of dollars. We're not going to wait for the report to come back, of course, unless they do an inspection and they find out that the house is falling down, right? Structurally or something. But otherwise, waiving an inspection is a good way to get through. So as I mentioned before, you want to use your market data to prove to the buyer that homes in that area are going for a certain price or within a certain ratio to list. So what does that mean? If a buyer is coming to you and you're not doing your homework, right? This has to do with you doing your homework. If a buyer's coming to you and saying, oh, well, it's the pandemic, so I'm going to just lowball this offer. Or I'm going to, well, it's winter, so I'm going to just offer low because, there's not a lot of people looking at that house. Or, whatever excuse at the moment people are using. Oh, well, a lot of people are not buying in New York anymore, right? Because they're just rumors, but you have educated yourself, right? And the data for that market. So this is an example of what Brooklyn data will look like. You can go into the statistics area and you can look up for a certain area. And we have a separate video on Agent Link page under market data on how to do this stuff. So let's say we looked up this specific area, whatever this is, at 11209. And we see that from December 2019 to December 2020, it shows you average days on market, and it's also showing you close price to list price ratio. So what does that mean? Look at November 2020. 86 days average on market, and listings were selling at 96.5%. So that means that they are selling at 3.5% off the list price. What did we say before? Most listings sell between 3 and 7%. So it just so happens last month, 3.5% off list. Look at October 2020, 96.8%. So again, you're still in that 3 to 7% range, but it's closer to the 3. September was a little bit lower. You're looking at 5.8, right? August, 3%. So I would say for this zip code, it looks as if most listings are selling between 3 and 4% off of the list price more recently. Okay, that is how you prove to your buyer what their offer should be, or if they should raise it. Here's an example of Staten Island. They show you average list price, average sale price, and then average days on market. So you can kind of come up with those numbers on what they're selling at. So let's say your average list price for November 2020 was $745. Median list price $639, average sale price $606, and median sale price $580. So if you're looking at average list price, so $745, and then average sale price $606. That's a big jump. But your median is $639 and your median sale price is $580. So you can figure out the percentage of whatever that is, and you can say, okay, for this particular area that we looked up, it's X amount of percentage off of the, or dollar amount off the list price. Okay? Again, it's all about the data. If you just start making things up, the people are not going to trust you. If you provide the data, they will trust in what you believe and be loyal to you and listen to you. Okay? So, last but not least, you always need to have some sort of strategy. You have to have those tactics and you have to execute on them. When you're working with buyers, you need to understand their needs, overcome those objections, and understand their frustrations. Maybe they've looked at a few houses before. They really need something in this area. You have to learn how to deal with people in general. Always know the buyer's journey, the channels that they've gone through, and my favorite is their sources of information. This is where you educating them is important because, again, most people get their information from social media, and we all know that social media is not always reliable. Oh my God, it's the pandemic, it's winter, it's New Year, it's the summer, right? Everything is like trying times. Oh my gosh, it's Valentine's Day, right? It sounds funny, but that's what people do because they use those things as excuses. Or they try to use them as an excuse to give, let's say, a lower offer. So you need to be their source of information. And I hope that was helpful with you presenting and getting some better offers in there.